Hi, Gretos. I hope you've had a good rest. Now it's back to normal or almost normal. So just a few things I want to focus on quickly today. Yesterday you got homework, and basically one of the questions said you must look at the impact that mass movement can have on people. And what I want you to do when you get a question like this is always think of what are the different aspects. So when we talk about people, it can actually be economic, it can be social as well. So those two things, and then lastly you get the environmental impact as well. So I'm just going to highlight a few things quickly in this video, and then I've also included my PowerPoint as well. So please, the next two slides is in my PowerPoint as well. And then there's other slides as well to answer some of the questions of yesterday. Okay, so let's just quickly have a look here. Impact on people, obviously death and injury. If you watched that video yesterday, you would have seen that those people almost trapped in that mudslide, and that could have led to death or injury. And then property damage, this is an important one. Why? Because property damage can be either economic or social. If you think about it, property damage, if it's damage to a property, they have to rebuild it, so that's going to cost a lot of money. So that's the economic side of it. The social side of it is it can be a school that was damaged, so people or pupils may not be able to go to school. It might be an office, so people will not be able to go to work, will lose their income, might not be able to support their family anymore. So there's social impacts as well when it comes to property damage. Then damage of routes or roads, as you can see in this picture here. This one, you can clearly see that the rock falls caused this road to be blocked. This you get quite a lot in Val SA as well. So there's a lot of rock falls, especially your Western Cape region, as well as your KZN region. In KZN, the main reason there is because of a lot of rainfall they get there. There's more weight on the land, and as a result you get these rock falls as well. Then damage to farmland, again this one, so I just want to remove that. With this one, damage to farmland, this can also be economic and social. Why? Because when farmland is destroyed through a mudslide, definitely will have an economic impact on the farmer, and as a result he won't have an income because his crops will be destroyed. It can also be social. If this farmland that was destroyed, they were growing a specific crop that you don't get in other regions, there might be a loss of that type of crop. Especially if you think about subsistence farming, that's another example. So subsistence farming, remember, is when you farm for yourself. So imagine quickly this mudslide destroying my farm. Okay, so now all of that was supposed to go to my family for food, and now I don't have it anymore, so it will have a social impact because my family won't have food anymore. Okay, then informal settlements are often more affected. Why? This is a good question. They like to ask what is the difference in impact on your rich communities and poor communities. And the main thing here is, with any mass movement, if there's an impact on people and your informal settlements, for example, firstly, their buildings aren't as strong, so it will be totally destroyed, not just damaged. And also they often don't have an income to quickly do repairs. So with your rich community, usually they have the money to repair it quickly, and there's no long-term impact. Okay, let's have a look at our next slide. So here we look at the impact on the environment. Specifically, landslides and mud flows has a massive impact. Why? Because it's so large scale. It happens on a large scale. It's not like soil creep that is slow and over a very long period of time. This is quick and on a large scale, like I mentioned. Destroying of farmlands and vegetation, this we've mentioned. The vegetation part is also important. Why? Because the vegetation also plays a role in keeping the soil together. You'll remember that the roots, of course, keeps soil together. That prevents soil erosion. So when this is removed, soil erosion will take place. Then blocking of stream flow. If you look at this picture, you will see that that part right there, that's a type of looks like a landslide. So that blocked the river. Okay, so that can happen when basically the water will dam up, so this forms like a natural dam wall. Then this will disrupt the ecosystem. Immediately with this river that's stopped flowing, it will have an impact on the ecosystem, but also in any other ecosystem where there's, for example, a mudslide or mud flow, and the habitat is destroyed, then it will automatically have an impact on the ecosystem. Okay, then the last point here changes the nature of slopes. Again, I can use the example in the picture. If you look at that part right there, you will see that that used to be flat. I mean, that was a river. Now all of a sudden there's a bit of an incline and change the slope of this area. But also imagine this on a much larger scale with a massive landslide. It can change the slope quite dramatically as well. Okay, so these are just some of the impacts I'd like to mention to you. And as mentioned previously, always think of the three aspects: economic, social, and environmental. And you can often link the one to the other one as well. Okay, I hope you do your homework, and I'll chat to you soon. Enjoy your day.